Hello and welcome to the Real-Esteem podcast. Today is July the 6th, 2018. I'm your host, Patrick Tabor, and today on the Parenting Edition, we're going to talk about tradition. If you'd like to hear any of our previous podcasts or get a copy of our book, Real-Esteem, Finding Your True Identity in Christ, please visit us at enith.com, www.enyniith.com. I remember a story that someone once told me about a newly married couple who had an opportunity to prepare the Thanksgiving dinner, and they began the process of buying a ham. Once the wife brought the ham home, there was a big portion that she had cut off of the ham. And after she had trimmed it and chopped off this large section, the husband was confused. He asked her, "Why did we cut such a big portion off of the ham we just bought?" And she said, "I'm not sure. That's what my mom did." So she went ahead and prepared the Thanksgiving ham, and they took it to the Thanksgiving dinner. Once they were there, he had determined in his mind that he was going to ask her mother, why did she cut the big portion of the ham off? Well, he got his opportunity. He pulled his mother-in-law aside and asked her and said, "Hey, your daughter had cut a big section off of the ham, and I was wondering why did she do that?" She said, "Well, I don't really know. That's what my mother did, so we just followed suit and did the same process." So, again, he had to go find someone else. So he went and found the grandmother and asked her very politely, "Why do you cut off such a large section of the ham to prepare Thanksgiving dinner?" And the mom said, "I don't know why your wife and my daughter do that." She said, "I did that because I didn't have a large enough pan to fit the ham in. So that was my process. I don't know why they do it." So with that being said, we're talking about tradition today, and sometimes we have to really make sure that the traditions that we are following are valid, are important, and are beneficial. For the reason of this story, the cutting off the portion of the ham was not necessary for the daughter and the mother. It was necessary for the grandmother because of the size of her pan. So she was doing something to make it fit for her, but you had two generations following suit with the same pattern, not knowing exactly why they were doing that. So with tradition, you have to have a good foundation with the tradition. Some traditions are really good. Some can be a task that's just proposed because some specific person in the family wanted this to be a tradition. So what you really have to do is find out what God thinks about certain traditions. Is it acceptable? Is it beneficial? Is it helpful? Is it going to detract or take your attention away from Him? Is it going to detract and take your attention away from your calling and what you need to do, how you need to reach people, and how you need to conduct yourself in that? Does this tradition usurp, or does it become more important than people and your calling? So Colossians 2:8 says, "See to it that no one takes you captive by philosophy and empty deceit, according to human tradition, according to the elemental spirits of the world, and not according to Christ." And so there it is, not according to Christ. Anything that God doesn't want you to spend your time being involved with, something that may detract from your spirit or your destiny, or even detract from helping you reach people for Christ. Anything that's going to be a distraction or detract from that process is not good for you. And some traditions, they just hold that type of value where they take away more than they actually provide or give. It's just something that we do because everybody else has done it, or we've done it for so long. This is what we do. It's always good to know the real reason behind the tradition. What was the focus when it was created? Why is it repeated every year? And what is it supposed to accomplish? If you don't know that, then you may want to think about just disbanding that tradition if it's not going to be beneficial, if it's only causing stress for all that are involved, and you really don't know the foundation, then why are you doing it? 1 Timothy 4:7 have nothing to do with irreverent, silly myths or traditions. Rather, train yourself for godliness. So, like I said, anything that's going to detract, deter, distract you from your calling, whatever it is you're called to do, if it is a tradition or a habit that is going to mess that up, I would strongly recommend that you try to find a way to kind of release yourself from that. You do not have to walk in these human traditions, but like I said, some are good. I don't want to cast down every tradition, but I want you to know that some traditions are not beneficial and helpful. Those that are, yes, continue those. The reason we're bringing this up during the parenting section is, if you notice, the young wife was following suit with a pattern that she saw her mother conduct, and the mother was following suit with a pattern that she saw her mother conduct. But neither one of the mother or the daughter, neither knew the true reasoning for the tradition. They just continued to follow tradition as it was without knowing a foundation behind it. So it kind of seems like irreverent or silly if you think about it, because they didn't know the purpose of what they were doing, but they were doing it anyway. So let's not pass along those type of things to our children, our own bad habits, our own issues. Let's not pass down traditions that are not going to be beneficial to them. Let us gain knowledge and understanding on the foundation of any tradition in our families and pass down those that are going to make our children stronger than we were. If you got something out of this today, be blessed, grace and peace.